How's that supposed to go in your ear?
From the barns, saying special thanks to the Dyers, Fields, Drapers, Fick, Nichols, Dylan Nance, and the Dawn. Barnes family would like to give a special thanks to you all for your help in getting us moved so quickly Saturday. Without your help, we would have been in for a very long day. And so, want you all to know that. Also says thanks for all of your help, and you all blessed our day with your time. We thank you from the bottom of our heart, the Barnes team. Other announcements we have, White House Assisted Living Devotion will be this coming Sunday. My class in the auditorium will be in charge of that. I do need some help. I need somebody to lead singing and somebody to take care of the communion. If you'd be willing to help me out with that this coming Sunday, I would appreciate it if you could see me follow the service. Children's Church will also be this coming Sunday. Don't forget, next Monday is Memorial Day, and the office will be closed then. The snack pack delivery will be on Tuesday, May the 29th, instead of on Monday because of the holiday. Packing for the snack pack program will take place on the 30th of this month at 6:30 in the Fellowship Hall. Planning committee, we have, it will be June the 5th. Everyone's invited who wishes to come. That'll be at 6 o'clock here at the church. Making health pantry items for this month: Bob's macaroni and cheese, ramen noodles, crackers, canned fruit, and instant or canned potatoes. This coming weekend, our youth will be going to the Open Youth Rally. That starts on Friday and goes through Sunday. And don't forget, of course, that we will be having work camp coming up very soon. Another couple of announcements I have. On the 14th of next month, they're going to be installing and updating our sound system. On the 16th, which is on Saturday, is that right, Tom? On the 16th, on Saturday, we're going to hold a training seminar for the new system. We need volunteers to come. Tony's been faithful about doing this, but there are times when he needs to be away or can't be here and so on and so forth. So if you can come and you want to work in the sound room, you can come that day. That's when they'll have the training for the new system. Also, don't forget that we're changing classes on the 3rd. All the lower classes, I assume the adult classes will be the same. And that'll be on the 3rd. That's on Sunday. Any other announcements need to be made? Okay, at this time we're going to turn it over to Jerry Neal. He has our invitation tonight. Jerry?
Now, if you thought Oliver's and Wally's was short, you better just wait. I'm just kidding. It's not that short. The topic I'm wanting to cover tonight is God's goodness and how it affects us today. Some people today may say, how can a God be good whenever there's all these bad things happening in the world today, like murder, thievery, there's cancer. You frequently hear reports of suicide bombers and shootings all around the world. How could God, who is described as being good, have all these things happen? But I really think the people who say this really needs to open their eyes and consider what they're actually arguing for. They're saying that God actually isn't good. And if God wasn't good, then bad things would completely overtake us, 24/7, and we'd have no chance for any recovery at all. But that doesn't happen, as you know, today. Yet, God doesn't owe us anything at all. His love for us is ever present, and that's why it doesn't happen. Now, I'm not saying if you become a Christian, everything will be perfect and no bad things will happen at all. That obviously doesn't happen either. There's sin and evil in this world today. But it says in Romans chapter 5, verses 8 through 10, "But God demonstrates his own love for us in this: while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Since we have now been justified by his blood, how much more shall we be saved from God's wrath through him? For if, while we were God's enemies, we were reconciled to him through the death of his Son, how much more, having been reconciled, shall we be saved through his life?" I think part of what he's saying here is that because of God's goodness, we can now be saved and reconciled, which means brought back to, through his Son's life. And maybe tonight, you've maybe doubted God and maybe have even been turned away by the evil that exists in this world. And you need the prayers of the church to help you overcome these tough times in your life, because they happen to all of us. We as a church body are here for you. And because of God's goodness and forgiveness he supplied to us, he's here for you too. He wants you to grow closer to him. Maybe tonight there's someone here who hasn't taken that step to grow closer to him, and maybe has also even doubted until recently. And you want to take that step and become baptized. I hope you would do so and come forward now as we stand and sing together.